We're back with another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and in this episode we're going to be looking at the Dark Lord himself, to Zeta or not to Zeta, Darth Vader. To start things off, let's have a look at his Zeta ability. So this is going to be when it's fully maxed that Empire and Sith allies gain 30% offense with a 50% chance to remove 20% turn meter when they damage an enemy. This turn meter removal can't be resisted. While Darth Vader is alive, enemies immediately regain damage over time for 2 turns whenever damage over time expires on them. So far this sounds great, but to find out is it great or is it bad, we need to have a look at the good, the bad and the ugly. So let's have a look at the good. So it is really fun to play with. It's really fun to even watch. You know, I've put up a good few videos of Vader Zeta and it's got a lot of attention and generally everybody has enjoyed watching it. So it definitely has that fun factor to it. It's a great addition to the Rancor raids, and now you can mix up some of your squads and take some different approaches. Doesn't mean you're going to score more than a T-bow lead or anywhere near, but you're definitely going to be having fun and it's going to be a lot quicker. Once your Omega Darth Vader's Culling Blade, this then cannot be evaded, so you're always going to be able to hit that Culling Blade on them dots. While Darth Vader is present in the squad, those dots, once they've been applied to the enemy, will not go away. Yes, they can be cleansed, but they will come back straight after until Darth Vader is dead, so he can throw Culling Blades, Boba can throw his wrist rocket, it's going to come back and it's just going to then stack and stack and stack. The more dots that you're able to apply, the more dots that are going to stay. Empire and Sith allies also have a 50% chance to remove 20% turn meter. So if you can imagine you've got a fast TIE fighter pilot in there, he's going to do his AoE straight away, and for each enemy that he hits there's a 50% chance that he's going to remove the turn meter and it will not be resisted. Now we've gone over the good, let's have a look at the bad. To run this team, you're going to need to have an auto taunter like Shore Trooper. I don't really think Baze is really going to help you here compared to what Shore Trooper could bring to your team. Darth Vader overall lacks speed. He has 121 speed when he's not modded, so it's not very quick compared to some characters that we are currently seeing in the arena. This Zeta ability is too much R&B reliant. The reason why I say that is the turn meter removal is based on 50% time for Empire and Sith allies that they're going to be able to remove 20% turn meter. This is going to be different every single match that you go into, and if you are relying on taking away that turn meter to speed your team up, then it could go really wrong for you, and depending how it is based on the defense could completely ruin your team. Also, that's not to mention the damage over time can be resisted, so once they are applied, however, that they will stick on there while Darth Vader is alive, but getting them to apply is a different thing altogether. So we've gone through the good, we've gone through the bad, now let's have a look at the ugly. The bounty hunter himself, Boba Fett, is the backbone to a Vader lead Zeta team. Without Boba Fett in your team, this team would struggle. And that brings me on to this team heavily relies on abilities. So an ability block as stun is really going to make a difference on taking down this team with ease. Without an auto taunter or Boba Fett at your side, Vader is really going to struggle. For the cost of 20 Zeta compared to an Emperor Palpatine lead, which gives Siths and allies so much benefits and also gives all that turn meter for debuffs, I believe that Palpatine and Vader, there is no competition of who to choose and to save 20 Zeta, and I would go personally with Emperor Palpatine. Before we jump onto the final verdict of Darth Vader Zeta, I also wanted to mention other areas also, like the AAT raid. AAT raid can be great for Darth Vader lead, and it's definitely a new installment and a chapter of what you can use. So my final verdict on Darth Vader Zeta would be this. Arena matches don't generally last that long, so to really get the full benefit out of Darth Vader is that you're not really going to land lots and lots of darts. Boba Fett is truly your saviour in this squad, but he can also be your kryptonite in the enemy team. This will also depend on which Boba goes first and which is the quickest, which is solely reliant on mods. If their Boba goes first and is able to ability block Darth Vader from the get-go, or even Boba Fett, then it's pretty much a downhill battle from there. Then there is also Palpatine and his leadership and what he brings to an Empire team. With all that turn meter, he's got that AoE stun, and you've also got TIE Fighter Pilot, where you could also run TIE Fighter Pilot, so he could also be your saviour, or he could be your downfall on the opposite team. On offense, you may be able to win those battles that you haven't won before by taking that different approach, but on defense, it's going to be quite easily to defeat, and it's going to be relying on what you've got. If you've got that Palpatine, TIE Fighter Pilot, if you've got Boba Fett, even if you've got a really fast Rebel team, it's going to take a lot more turns than what Darth Vader and Boba will. More Empire characters will be added, especially with Rogue One being released, so we have a few months to see more Empire allies, and there will be more in the future. But this Zeta, in my opinion, isn't for now. If you want something that's fun, that's going to make you laugh, that's going to make you go, oh my god, oh wow, then that is definitely for you. But if you are looking for a Zeta that's going to be your arena team, that's going to make it more powerful, that's going to make it superior, this probably isn't the Zeta for you. What are your thoughts? Are you going to Zeta Darth Vader, or are you going to a Zeta somebody else? I'm going to have some great footage on other Zetas, so make sure you are subscribing and checking my channel for videos daily. If you've liked this video, then please make sure that you do leave a like on it. Thank you very much for watching today. I'm the Smithy D. May the Force be with you always.